So the only drawing challenge I could find online was Janu Scary, and there were no prompts for that. But there was also another one that I liked called January Blues, which I did last year. But I only made like 3 or 4 prompts through it, so I didn't actually get to finish any of that. So I decided to give it another go this year. I wrote all my own prompts. The illustrator in me likes something to work off, so I just did that. And with the January Blues prompt, the people that have done it before have used exclusively like blue materials, blue paints, that sort of stuff. I just decided to, as the prompts went on, my introduction of blue got a bit more flimsy, as you'll see. But it's pretty much making sure that the colour blue is sort of central or prominent in the image. So I hope you like. Okay, so here we are with this first 2020 drawing challenge, January Blues. This sketchbook is Sea White of Brighton. It's nothing fantastic, it's cheap and cheerful, does what it says on the tin. I use markers, pro markers, and coloured pencils, and bits of graphite in this as well. So, here we go. Oh, I always put my name in the front of my sketchbook, just in case I lose it, and some kind Samaritan then has the opportunity to return it. So the first picture is Divine. I'll see if I can scan in on that just to get these a bit more clear. I'm going to scan in some of these later, hopefully get a decent enough view of them. The word divine, rabbits are a very spiritual symbol for me, and I've done a lot of these prompts around a central female witch character, so you'll see that theme runs through my work anyway. So this is Divine. The prompt for this one was dirt. So I did a woman in a meditative pose, but I kind of tried to reflect dirt in the hair and then these blue flowers growing out of it. So, I mean, I didn't go for any kind of remote representational stuff there. It was literally just a little quirky thing. Frog, I struggled on, because I think if you watched my last video with the Inktober prompts, I did the prompt toad for that one. So this, all I could come up with right now was just a dancing frog and some witchy lady looking at it, and the frog is the blue in this. Chalk. Now I did more or less this same prompt last year. I probably should have prepped for this video more and shown you, but it's a chalk circle. So I did a witch holding a blue candle, drawing a chalk circle. Again, if I'd thought it through and had some more time, I might have done the circle in blue as well, but I kind of use these drawing prompts as an image bank for my paintings anyway, but I think it does pay off making them a little bit more finessed, just in case you can do or make something else out of the image, like maybe a postcard or something like that. Some of you got me some really good suggestions last time for how I can use these prompts as images that you might be able to want to collect. This is my favourite one, I think, so far. The prompt is small, and I just did a tiny cartoon version of me with hair, obviously, a little ghost, and the only blue I could think to fit into it was the blue on the sleeve here. So, Broken. This is kind of a very old image I drew this idea a long time ago, but I wanted to just revisit it again, and I do think I'm going to do a painting of something along this lines very soon. Obviously the blue is on the paper men, paper people, those things you used to do in school. Now this, I drew, the prompt for this is wonder, and I drew this at a local drink and draw, which is a bunch of us go out, have a few coffees, maybe a few alcoholic drinks, take our sketchbooks, and it's just a good meet-up space. If you are local to Swansea, it's in Zinco Lounge, so add yourself to the group and come join us. I do like how this came out actually, but again, because it's a daily draw, the level of research isn't incredible, so I think I do like the idea with the orchids and the blue hair and that sort of stuff, and I do think this can and will become something else as well at some point, but we'll see. The prompt for this was write. So I did the theme, the idea of, again, a witch casting her spells, sending her thoughts out. That's why I put the little magic stuff here. I would, if I could, again, critiquing myself, I would change the eyes a little bit because they came out a bit too red, but that's kind of, when you watercolor, it's quite unforgiving that way. That's kind of why I like working with acrylics a bit more, because you get to go back over some of your things. I should actually zoom this out a little bit now. This is my least favourite. The prompt is manifest, and it's just this witchy bunny character trying to get that spirituality theme in there a little, very loosely, and she's manifesting, creating a flower. So I just don't like how that came out. Thought. This is the prompt for thought. So I did the whole light bulb moment. And the only way I could work blue into this was the dots. Again, I would like to expand on this for a different painting, because I like the idea. I would just like to see that move forward, the whole floating light bulb thing. I've drawn it a few times, especially I've been working on this other picture book for a long time now, and I still haven't got the story quite right, so I've just been doing character design after character design, and that features heavily light sources and things like that, but this is a good start into sort of creating paintings based on that as well, and that might help. Who knows? This one is, the prompt is dozen, so I did a dozen ghosts surrounding a witch who is summoning them. Not entirely sure how well you can see that. But I do think if I Photoshop her a little bit and have a little play with that, I think she can be a nice image. But we'll see. The prompt for this one is art, and the only blue I could work into it was the blue on the tip of the paintbrush around her neck. I just really wanted to draw a girl with giant ram's horns, and I kind of have a thing for this Victorian cuff here. So, I like how it came out. I'm not sure what to do with it now though, but if you have any ideas still, I'm always open. I like how this one came out. Blind is the prompt for this, and I did have another drawing underneath this that was terrible, so I reworked it, and I liked how this came out. And the blue obviously is in the eyeballs, the irises. I could have done more blue hair, but the blue pro marker I was using had run out, and I didn't have time to go buy a new one. So music, I do like that idea, that theme, and I think I will expand on that as well for either a small painting or another drawing. I want to see where that one goes. I really do. I'm not sure how or where it's going to go just yet, but we'll see. And obviously the blue is in the hair there. So the prompt for this is stuck, and I think I might have shown you in a previous sketchbook. There's this kid that walks around here. I think he's a student, and he has this giant ginger afro, and it's incredible. And as soon as the prompt stuck, I came across the prompt stuck. I could immediately think of things stuck in his hair. Attaching the blue to this was kind of a very last minute thing, so that's why there's just this tiny blue heart there. That really is a reach, I'm afraid, but there we go. The prompt for this one is stream, and I took that sort of underwater scuba divey sea explorer idea and put the stream, the sort of what would be underneath the stream, in the head. Now there's some details in there which I'm going to have to zoom in again. I know it's irritating when I zoom all the time. I do apologise, but I wanted to make sure you got the sort of paper boat and the tiny ghost and the little bits of seaweed and things like that in there, because I quite like how that came out. Again, I do use this as a giant image bank for things that I want to paint up later, or really redraw and take it to that sort of next level. Layer, like how this one came out, and the layer was just basically, I cut the girl to pieces, had her kind of like a Wednesday Addamish just kind of her image, her look is kind of Wednesday Addamish, and used the blue as like this blue thread that sort of binds her together and holds her in place. The prompt for this one is marriage. It was a bit of a stretch. Again, I did not know what to do. Me and my boyfriend are getting married, I think in the next year or maybe 2 years. We're just working out timing to get it sorted. So I wanted to do a couple of bunnies in love, but I needed it to, I wanted to have this sort of be part of the girl with horns image as well. So it was just an idea that popped into my head. I tried it. I like how it came out. The one for this is burn. I didn't want to get too graphic and literally do a girl on fire, so I did a witch with a candle on her head. I should also point out, I think I drew most of these while watching Sabrina. I finally caught up on that, and I've done a few drawings for that in a different sketchbook, but that's for later. The prompt for this one is key. Now, I do love that theme of skulls over faces, and I did a lot of that in a few of my other prompts. But I like how this one came out, and I think it's actually doing, for some reason, like, I don't get a lot of traction on Instagram or a lot of attention on Instagram, but this seems to have just randomly have gotten a random like 700 likes out of nowhere. Like my other pictures have got like 20, 30, and this one. So maybe that's found some sort of algorithm goodness. Who knows? Who understands the algorithm anyway? But there we go. The word for this one was prediction. And I did a sort of seance-y woman for my Inktober. I didn't want to do that again. So just a witch with her third eye and billions of other eyes open, I think, sort of does the job. Drown, and this is where I started to run out of time. Full disclosure, I did about 5 or 6 of these in one day towards the end, because January is just a very difficult time for me to get things done. You're dealing with the end of Christmas. There's 2 weeks in the middle where everyone's just manic, and then the end of January I always go on holiday for a week, just to because my husband-to-be doesn't get any time off over Christmas, so I make sure he gets away to have his proper rest. So the word for this one is drown. Again, I would like to have done it where there's blue literally covering that half of her, just to add that layer on top, which I think might be nice to paint. So I'll see how that again, that's another idea that I'm going to explore a bit further on. The word for this flower, and as I look at it, I realise I haven't finished it. So it's probably looking a bit poop, but I don't care. So it's I'll probably go back and add some layers of graphite, and I do a lot of my highlights in Posca markers, so I'll add some of that later. But right now, I wasn't a fan of doing it. I wasn't a fan of how it came out, but it'll do. The word for this one was pyramid. So obviously, just did the pyramid in the forehead there. Again, I kind of like these clashing or complementary colours there. I like those. And I don't know, I'm half and half thinking about whether I should have added a little symbol or something to the mug. Maybe I will later. We'll see. The prompt for this one is magic, and the blue is the spell book, and obviously the magic of the knives circling around her head. I might add a little bit of blue dots around there as well, just to sort of get the whole magic thing going. This is a bag that I saw years ago on Etsy, and I've never been able to find it since. It's like a caterpillar beetle bag that's all faux leather, so if you know where that is, let me know. The prompt for this one is fly. I'm not sure if I've shared in my other videos, but I love origami. I used to run local origami coffee mornings locally, and I just wanted to put that little bird in there. It does turn up in quite a bit of my work. I like drawing them. I like how this came out. The only thing I might change or add is a background colour to here, but for right now, I think that'll do. The prompt for this one is heaven, and I hate how it came out. It's awful. It looks awful. I don't like it. It's just sometimes the drawing just doesn't work. Like the idea, I get what I was going with it, but the execution, because I was catching up, I think it's a bit rushed. I like this one though. The prompt for this one is tree, and I do like how that came out with the blue tree and the purple and the white dots on top of the girl's head. I know it's a little bit trite, a little bit done, but I still like it anyway. So again, I rushed this one. The prompt for it is queen, and I really would like to have done something a bit more epic. But this is just falling back on what is safe for me to draw. This I finished this morning, and it's the word is grow, and I do like this one. I might do a bit more on these bumblebees. I got tons of horror movies to catch up on, and tons of other things I want to get sorted. So, but I like how this came out. And this one is artist. The prompt for this is artist. This is the last one. I think this is number 31, and yeah, I don't mind how it came out. I kind of missed an opportunity to do a self-portrait, but I might be doing another video specifically on self-portraits. So right now I kind of like this. The artist is painting herself, and the blue is obviously in the paintbrush. And that's it. So there we have it, 31 drawings to begin the year. I am going to try and do another drawing challenge in February, and I think I'm going to try and do February, because I know again there's Febu scary, but sometimes I need a break from drawing scary things, and I want to draw fairies and forest folk and things like that. So we'll see if I got time to do that this month. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed, hope you liked. Please feel free to like and subscribe. And if there's, ring the notification bell, do all that stuff. Again, if you have any ideas on what you would like me to draw, paint, or if you have any ideas on how I can monetize some of this stuff, I'm open to it all. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.